You are looking at a 2014 GMC Terrain, which I began to run in as a used vehicle in 2020. And I have to report that it does not get a lot of use, since it is like a backup vehicle. And when it is used in a rural area where the brakes get little use, since, for instance, the couple towns nearby have few traffic lights, which might signal me to brake. This video is designed to show you what I do with tar in relation to mostly brake systems of cars, so that my working on brake systems every so often is easier over the years. This image shows the rear driver's side wheel. With the wheel removed, you can see the brake system, such as the rotor and the caliper. Hold it! This is not a video that shows how to change parts of brake systems, though I could make one. I am showing you what I do once brake work has been done. The caliper in this image is probably 12 years old, and so it is rusty, but it still works properly. Notice the top area of the caliper. Notice the connection for the brake line, officially the brake hose. That and other stuff are covered with tar from a can. Here's a close-up view. The tar on the brake line has been there for a couple years, and under the tar is metal material that is protected from rusting easily. If I were to take the brake line off, I would scrape off the tar, and I would find that the head of the bolt is in good condition, unlike a bolt that was not covered up with tar over the years. Look at the back side of the caliper. Notice the thick tar on the bolts and stuff. You might say, if I put tar on the bolts and such, and then someone else does work on the vehicle, such as at a repair shop, would the someone be put off by seeing tar on stuff? My response is, so what? For example, this vehicle is used in Michigan, where salt is used on the roads in winter. I would rather have systems covered with tar and spend time scraping tar off, for instance, bolt heads, than to have bolt heads go to crap. This is the rear brake system on the other side of the vehicle. I had to replace the caliper. Notice the tar on the brake system parts. Notice tar is on the background stuff too. The other things have been tarred since I ended up using the vehicle. This area actually looks rather pretty, all black. By the way, you have been seeing rust on the brake rotors, and that happens easily these days when a vehicle does not get a lot of use. Sometimes I think they are making aftermarket rotors cheaper these days with softer steel because surface rust can show up quickly, such as after a rain. The brake systems are working properly on this vehicle, and when the vehicle is used, the rust will get worn away for the most part. At the time that this video is made, it was September 2025, and at the time, I was expecting to inspect all the brake systems again next summer, and then I might have to change some rotors and pads. This image shows some of the stuff that I use to work on brakes. Notice the board. I call it a sliding board. It is a piece of paneling. It is used to get under vehicles, especially when the vehicles are on concrete. These are some tools. Notice the breaker bar with a socket. I use that 2-unit thing to tighten lug nuts. Most people seem to tighten lug nuts too tightly, especially when using air tools. My rule for tightening is have the vehicle on level ground, have no blocks at the wheels, and tighten each lug nut with a breaker bar and socket till you actually make the vehicle rock or move to the right. No jerking movements should be used. When lifting a vehicle, when it is on gravel or on a parking area made of gravel and dirt and grass, I put 2x4s or 2x6s under any floor jack that I use. And I use jack stands. By the way, this video does not show how this vehicle has the back sides of quarter panels tarred, the unseen areas of rocker panels tarred, the door lips tarred, and the underneath lips of the hood and the liftgate tarred. You can expect that the underneath parts of the vehicle, such as suspension parts, have been tarred too, especially bolt heads. On the day that I shot the images for this video, which was September 11, 2025, I received this tool in the mail. It is used in the process to get a computer of a vehicle to relearn the tire pressure sensors in the tires,